This is Black Views, bringing you the Black News. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Black Views today. Today, I wanted to have a talk with you about some of the Democratic shills and some of the messages that you see that are put out there by these shills. And in particular, I want you to pay attention as to like how they address black people. Like, these people get up here and speak, specifically people like D.L. Hughley and what's the other guy named Ricky Smiley. These guys, if you ask me, I believe as a straight black man that these men are LGBTQ. And they can say if they want to, yeah, they black and all this, but the things that they're saying doesn't really coincide with what's happening on ground zero as far as black people, how black people are being treated, how black people are thriving in the hood. These people are out of touch with black people that are in the hood. They'll talk about, the Greeks, Omega Psi Phi, and Alpha Kappa Alpha, whatever the hell you want to call it. It don't really fucking matter, because at the end of the day, it's Greeks based on Greek philosophy. But none of this shit has anything to do with what's going on in the hood. Now, I would think Divine Nine, what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to reflect upon the hood, meaning that these are people that are supposed to be enlightened and that they know better, and that they're supposed to basically like help the hood. Okay, all these black people that you see that claim these fraternities, they're only out for self. They're only out for self-gain. And in so many cases, they may help each other out, but it doesn't mean shit. Even if you are Omega, you can still be a broke-ass, jobless Omega man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this shit doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help anybody but people in a personal gains. I do think at some point in time, well, in the beginning, it was the foundings of these different groups were to help black people. But then we started to see where there's gatekeeping that went on, and keep in mind, a lot of these attendees of these HBCUs do not live in the hood. The HBCU may be in the hood, but they are not from that hood. So Kamala, having gone to Howard University right down here in Washington, D.C., she could have been on campus. She could absorb some of the things that went on around her, but she's not from there. So she's not going to get that native feeling of understanding of what it's like to be pulled over, what it's like to be looked at as already you have done something wrong. She doesn't get that. She doesn't have that. So she doesn't understand that. And so when we begin to talk about black women's rights, it's like, what rights are we talking about? The right to have an abortion? So already you see, like, she's already killed the family. Like, she split the family in half. There is no conversation about black men. If the black man is a leader in the household, or does a black woman need a black man? As you can see, if you look at this picture that you see here, if you are I guess I consider myself an elder. I'm in my 50s. I've been around this motherfucker, and I've seen these things happen, and I've questioned, almost a lifetime of questioning why things are the way they are, why they don't make sense, and you come to one conclusion: that it's all bullshit. So no matter who you vote for, and depending on what election that is, like for instance, if we were to vote today, how could I vote for Kamala? Kamala sit there and say something about $10,000 credit or some shit to go towards buying a house. Most people in the hood are not buying a house. Most people in the hood don't have money to buy a house. They don't even see an avenue of buying a house. Is Kamala talking about a special program for those that are in need, that don't even have the wage to get a house? She's not talking about anything. She's not even talking about the crime in the hoods. Because the participants in these crimes have black mothers. And if Kamala was a black mother, she would be able to understand that. I mean, it's very logical. Like any black woman that has a black child and that understands the threats that go on in these areas, understand what these areas need. And so you keep bringing in these shills, you keep bringing in these people that are out of touch, right? You keep bringing in comedians. You keep bringing in all sorts of people that really have not experienced what's going on here. It's so dangerous to walk down these streets. Let me explain something to you. I was over here ribbing things in the shopping center. There's a liquor store at the end of the shopping center that's owned by some immigrants. And right on the edge of that building, there's like 10 immigrants over there. I don't know if they're Mexican. I don't know where the hell they're from. I know they're Hispanic, and they're not from here. Historically not from here. When I say historically, I mean I pretty much, I've been in this area all my life. And I'm not talking about traveling. I've traveled many places. I lived in other states. I've lived a lifetime already. So to come back to the hood, and when I say hood, I mean neighborhood. It's not like riddled with crime, but this is a predominantly black area. And most of the crime here is black on black crime. But I can't even say that anymore, because there are these factions that have now popped up that are immigrants just doing shit. I mean, all the things that black people used to do, like ride on the street with no license plate on the moped, ride around with smokers and shit, fixing food and things like that, was shut down about 5 to 10 years ago. It was shut down. They were basically told they didn't have permits. They were basically told, you can't do that. Children were shot, beat up, all types of shit, just for driving a moped in the street. And so now here we come to where I'm starting to see these other groups just doing what the hell they want to do. And it's hands off. And so these are the things that concern me. If I were to vote, and no, I'm not going to vote in this election. But if I were going to vote, I would look at both parties. And I wouldn't even I'm not even looking at the party anymore. I'm looking at the candidates, and I'm looking at the policies. So when I listen to Trump, Trump talks about, at least he's saying, I want to send these motherfucking illegals back. And if you look at my other views, I will show you how illegal immigration has affected the black communities. He's talking about sending their ass back. You understand what I'm saying? He even has some type of plan, the platinum plan for black people. Even if it's bullshit, at least he has a plan. Okay? But now I direct my focus back over here to Kamala. Remember, I told you I was a Democrat baby. And Democrat baby, I'm just saying that my generations, my aunts and uncles and family members were Democrat. So I have a right to question now, right? I have a right to question. You're going to hear Ricky Smiley and all these other people say, where's that smoke for Trump? What do you mean where's the smoke for Trump? I'm a Democrat baby, right? So I have a right to ask, what the hell you been doing for the last 50 years? And now we're looking and we're asking, where are the tangibles? We're looking around and we're seeing other people come around us and they have paychecks. And they have insurance. And they're filling up the grocery stores. They're all over the road. They're in cars with no license plates on it. I see people in flatbed trucks with no seats or seat belts. That's what? If that was, I'm just saying. Back in the day, you get pulled over like that. That's a citation, and the people got to get out and walk. Now there's all type of other things that are allowed to happen. It's almost like being the oldest child. And you notice that, the younger siblings are able to do things that you couldn't do, because we're comparing our situation to theirs. So I have a few videos here today. I want to share them with you, and I am going to react to them. But I first wanted you to take a look at this picture here, where you see, you're going to see Kamala, and you see Kamala with her husband. And ask yourself, now, like I said, I'm well traveled, you know what I'm saying? I've been around, you know what I'm saying? I met a lot of, I worked in corporate for 25 years. I worked at IT. You understand what I'm saying? That's before I had to be it. And I'm just telling you, I know that look. See that white guy right there? See that look? Bruh. Normally what comes with that look is, I bet you kick a lots of ass, don't you? And it kind of hits you on your back to feel your back and shit, and feel your arms and shit to see if you're big. This is the type of shit that go on. You think I'm bullshitting? Ask around. So I just want you to take a look at this, and I want you to see how phony this is, right? This is, you have Kamala, okay? You have Kamala here with her white husband. Nothing, hey, that's what you want, ain't nothing wrong with that. But stop trying to run on the ticket that you black and that you a black woman, because you don't understand what black women go through. You really don't. Now, of course, there are, so-called swirlers. You're going to see tethers. You're going to see bed wenches. You're going to see a lot of that go on, and they have their white zaddies. So they're going to try to compare that and just say this is black woman's right. So essentially, think about it with the optics of you trying to take the black man out, period. See a black man with a beard, with woolly beard like mine, like, you're not gonna see this come in the future. Trust me. So let's roll. All right.
Details of this rally, including when and where it would be held, weren't announced until earlier today.
So okay, this was from the rally. Kamala Harris was at a rally. It's just a 1-minute skit. She's just gonna go over some of the things that Kamala spoke about it. All right, let's get to it. Excuse me.
Got out fast, thousands of people showing up here to the Thomas and Mack, and Harris explained to them why she should be the next president of the United States. A rock star's welcome as Kamala Harris walked out to the podium.
Her confidence is jumping off of the screen. She's something, and I believe that she can take this country.
See, and that right there is really what Kamala is looking to bring up. If you look and see how hard and deep and coarse these women are, these women, many of them have failed in relationships. They don't have children. They may have cousins and shit like that, but it's like they don't have children. They don't love children. You can just look and see, she ain't raised no motherfucking kids, man. And these are the people that are trying to leapfrog to say women's rights over black men like myself. You understand what I'm saying? Like women's rights. But they don't ever talk about leader of households, black men as leaders of households. Guess what? If you want to have women as household, that's fine. But there are black men who are leaders of their household. And I ask you, what do you have for them, Kamala? Nothing. Let's go.
The next level, she has the younger vote, she has the black vote, she has the women vote. This.
She has the young vote, the black vote, the women's vote. She doesn't, and it's farthest from the truth. Any free-thinking black man right now that's able to weigh what is heavier than the other and what is logical and what makes sense is not voting for Kamala. And I'm just saying, hold on, let's move on. I will speak on that in a second.
This will be a tight race until the very end. And so let's not pay too much attention to the polls.
Don't pay attention to the polls. That's what she's telling you. Let's not pay attention to that. Let's don't pay attention to nothing they talk about. We just want to get a black woman in there.
Because we have some hard work ahead of us.
We waited outside in 110-degree weather.
Right here, LGBTQ, bro, straight up. She ain't with no woman. She ain't with no kids. You don't see her hugging kids or a man and talking about the policies or celebrating what Kamala's going to do for black families. No, it's just black women. It's women like this right here that she's pitching to. Look at the woman beside her. This is LGBTQ. And you know what they're doing? They're cosplaying as regular black people. Oh, these just black. Yeah, they are black. But at the end, they only in it for themselves. So they just as bad as a tether or any other shit. They're in it for themselves, not for people as a whole. They're just in it for what their little greedy souls will allow them to be a part of. Let's move on.
Line for hours. VP picked Tim Walz thanked those inside, as many were shut out.
I understand because of the heat, they had to shut the door early and turn thousands of folks away.
Look at the crowd back there. Just look around. I mean, look at the dude with the what's that, equal rights and shit. Like, you see what I'm saying? Look, it's better. It is a union, ABP, okay, whatever. But I suspect some LGBTQ. I just really don't see any families in there. Like, I don't see, jumping up and down, happy about anything that they're talking about. Let's go.
But don't worry, we're going to be back a lot.
And in a direct appeal,
like, look in the background. It's just, are you honestly telling me that all these black women have little kids and they're going to take advantage of the voucher? It's ridiculous, man.
To Las Vegas voters, Harris appealed directly to Las Vegas voters and also specifically addressed the culinary workers in the crowd.
We will continue our fight for working families of America.
Look in there, those are all like immigrants right there. That's what she's catering to. And that was what the Democratic plan was, to flood in the gates with all these people. We not sure if they American. We don't know what the fuck they are. They just walking around and shit. They don't have proper ID and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And some of them may have, because they in sanctuary cities. So some of them may have legal state IDs because the sanctuary city is allowing that. And that's going to collude the vote. That's going to cloud the vote all up and shit. And they're going to leapfrog over you Negroes. Just like that. Because that's what the Democrats are putting into play. Let's go.
Including to raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Okay, that's nothing new, because we heard Trump say something about that a couple weeks ago, so that's nothing new. She wants to raise the minimum wage, but she's not talking about creating any entrepreneurship to create jobs that can pay wages based on sales and revenues and things like that. She's talking about raising the minimum wage. So you're just gonna raise the minimum wage, right? And I'm sure the people that's gonna get it are gonna say, yeah, I want the minimum wage. But in the long run, those businesses are gonna close down because the revenue is not gonna reflect and be able to pay those wages. This is what's going on in the cities, right? But the media is pushing it off as, no, people are stealing, that's why. No, they're not selling. And that's why these businesses are closing down, because the minimum wage, the wages are too high. Let's go.
And it was 1 week ago that Harris announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Their trip here to Las Vegas caps off a week of crisscrossing the country on a swing state tour, trying to secure battleground states like our own. At the Thomas and Mack, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.
All right, thank you, Kim. That was from Fox 5 News. Fair use. Got to make sure we say that. Okay, so we're gonna move right along to the next scene. And in this next scene here, this scene is with DL Hughley. I'll probably get hit on it for copyright, but it's like, like I said, I ain't getting views, so it doesn't really matter. But here goes DL Hughley, and I want you to listen how they talk to black people, man. They so insulting, and then they try to make it like they figured out something new that we didn't already know, because what they see as black people are people that the Democrats pitch to, and those are degenerates. That's why you got Glorilla. That's why you got Meg Thee Stallion. I mean, they show you who they pitch to, because that's who they invited to the rallies, so they can shake their booties and do all that shit. There's a time and a place for all that type of shit. Don't get me wrong. But like when you just take that and you put that as the base of what black people represent, it's appalling. And in so many ways, it's offensive because a lot of people not used to that shit. You understand what I'm saying? But in their minds, they think this is what black people are about. Black people are about booty shaking and ovulating and over-sexualized. Like, all we want is coochie. That's why you got women walking around all day. If you hold the door, if you say hi, they think you want some coochie. That's because this is what media and this is what's being put out there. Okay, let's move. Let's hear this.
That was a Tribe Called Quest, Trek the Rhyme. So a lot of people have a lot of things to say. Why isn't Kamala talking to the media? She's been, on the campaign trail for 24 days. She hasn't talked to the media. Kamala's talking to the American people. It's awful arrogant that the media believes that they need for the candidate to talk to them in order to have a conversation with the Americans.
So like he's creating new rules. Like now, she shouldn't have to talk to the media. This guy he plays for stupid. Like no one else falls for this shit. But he'll try to talk to us. Like Kamala Harris talking to the media. Isn't that what candidates do? Talk to the media, try to get their point across, try to say what plans they feel are going to be best for the election, or what plan does she plan to run off of, or anything. But you listen to this guy, a comedian, he's going to tell you like the media think that Kamala need to talk to them. The fuck is that?
And I think the media thinks they have more reach and access than they do. Most people, as many people get their name from get their news from social media.
No, this is about accountability and transparency. I admit the media is not the best for either one, but I see Trump going out there doing and once again people gonna say, well, you don't have that, you talking about Kamala, you ain't talking about Trump. I just already told you he offered he offered the platinum plan. Like, I mean, might be bullshit, but that's what he offered. He said he was gonna send these motherfucking illegals back. Might be bullshit, but that's what he offered, and that's what will assist black people. Now, listen to this.
As they do traditional media outlets. I think it is wise for Kamala Harris to let Donald Trump keep, what they say, if your enemy's digging a hole, let him keep digging. What is she going to say that's the equal of the dumb stuff that Donald says all the time? People call this a honeymoon, but a honeymoon is a short amount of time. But it couldn't really apply if you were only going to be married a little while. This is a truncated campaign season. It's only a few months. And in a few weeks from right now, early voting will begin in most of the United States of America. So the ideas that people have, the things that they're saying and believing in right now, are the things they'll vote on. And I would suggest, and it is my hope, that people who are planning to vote.
This motherfucker, he ain't said nothing. And see, this is Kamala, because this is the babbling that goes on, right? This is the hustle. We just gonna use up airtime talking about Kamala, and we're not gonna talk about anything in particular. We're just gonna talk about why we should vote for Kamala. No, not even why you should vote for Kamala. And guess what? You're tripping if you want to do anything else. You're gonna vote for Trump. Just to say that, almost like to say you gonna vote for the white man. That's what you gonna do. You gonna vote. You gonna turn your back on us and vote for a white man. Like that's what they're trying to put in your head. But once again, where are the tangibles? Where are the things, the offerings that come with your vote? What exactly is Kamala offering? More D.L. Hughley. Let's listen. The comedian.
Do so early. Let's make a concerted effort to make sure that those ballots that come in, you send them in early. And also do this. Do the same things you do. When remember that there was this phenomenon that thought they were attributing box office sales to certain movies, so everybody was encouraging you to look on the back of your ticket and make sure, look at your registration and make sure you're really registered. This is not a honeymoon. If the honeymoon is...
He wants you to look at your voter's registration and make sure you're registered to vote. So if you have a voter's registration, who the fuck else do you have if your name is on it? It's the bullshit. This is the bullshit that they're selling to you.
It's trickling down when people start to get to learn good, get to know somebody, and they start to like them less. But we're not in that process. This wave is taking off. And in a few weeks, early voting will begin in the United States of America. a few weeks. And so those things that they're saying that they believe right now will be the things they vote. They have made it increasingly harder in all kinds of places for black people to vote. They want to do manual counting in some place and to be able to not count ballots in some place. I would suggest that everybody that can get a ballot early and...
Remember, this is why we should vote for Kamala, right? Listen, nothing. It's just babbling, just talking. You need to get on down there, because if you don't get down there, they're gonna take away your rights. They're gonna take them away. What rights? He ain't talking about what rights we're gonna take away. You're gonna take away your vote right.
Send it in as early as possible, and to make sure that you are registered to vote. Because the game is they're kicking people off roads. They're trying to go to city council to make it harder to count votes and to certify votes. We already know what the game is.
What's the game? You have an ID, you get to vote. I don't get it. And in some places they like, if you got your ID, you can vote. You don't have to have the little registration card, because once you show the ID, it's going to match up, because the ID go through the DMV. So he's talking crazy, like he's talking as if we've never voted before, as if you're 17. Was it 18? Yeah. As if you're 17, getting ready to turn 18 to vote, and never voted before. This is why he's talking.
Just like you check those movies to make sure that you ain't giving your money to the bad, that it ain't going to My Left Shoe instead of Bad Boys, make sure you're registered to vote. This honeymoon that they're talking about only applies for a regular campaign season. This is a truncated. Literally, soon after the DNC happens, people will have the right to vote. And I suggest it is my sincere hope. I know as soon as I get my ballot, I know what I'm doing. And hopefully he'll have said something just as stupid the day I pull a lever. But the truth of the matter is, people are starting to make, after Labor Day, a tradition when Americans tune in to what's happening. And if they tune in to see this runaway freight train as she is, it'll have an impact on him. And the more desperate he becomes, the more erratic he becomes, the more crazy things he does, the harder it is going to be to suss through all of it.
See, black man, black woman, he just want to rile you up off your emotions. I'm just telling you. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're going to say black people can't agree on anything, but I mean, what is he agreeing to? Ask yourself logically, what is he agreeing to? He's telling you to vote, but he's not telling you what to vote for.
Just hope that as soon as you get those ballots, you send them in. And if you're not going to do that, make sure that you are registered to vote. In all these places, all over the country, because that's the game. They know how close this thing is going to be. They know how Kamala Harris is ahead of those things and a lot of momentum.
It's a nothing burger.
And it's up to us to make sure that we do our part. It's a little note from GD saying got a jazz report coming in 15 minutes.
All right, see what I'm saying? They don't say anything. They just scold you. Make sure you look at your voter's registration like you looking at your like you looking at your movie ticket. Make sure you know that's what you're doing. A whole nothing burger. So here go the last one here, the last little skit. This is the one with Ricky Smiley. This is the one that I think is just so diabolical, man. Like the dude is talking about nothing but being a Greek and how proud he is and all symbolism shit. Symbolism shit, and the only people that get paid are people like him. People like D.L. Hughley. They're going to get paid even more because they're going to get more FaceTime, just like YouTubers we do. Just like, see, it's all, YouTube is like a microcosm of the mass media. They want to be seen. So guess what? The more people that see gonna look into whatever Tavis Smiley are doing, and then before you know it, in about 10 more years, Ricky Smiley. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that, Tavis. Ricky Smiley and D.L. Hughley are going to come out and say that they are LGBTQ. This is how it goes. Same thing they did with Orlando Calrissian. He just came out and said, I'm gender fluid and shit. Like, just coming up with all types of shit. Here we go.
It's the front page on the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
I'll probably get a copyright. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Maria, good morning.
Here's what's happening in news. Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota held their first joint campaign rally together in Philadelphia. Kamala Harris praised Walz going down his list of titles from coach to congressman and even military veteran. She ended his introduction, Ricky, saying, and in 91 days, the nation will know Coach Walz by another name, Vice President of the United States. Are you excited about Tim Walz? I already know that question.
Always.
What excites you the most about him?
Listen, this is what excites him the most about the vice president candidate. Listen.
Oh, just that he's just a regular, like he reminds you of your high school principal. He reminds you of your high school football coach.
Most people in the hood didn't have white high school principals. You see what I'm saying? You see how the disconnect? Like there's no disconnect in that. Most of us didn't have white high school principals. Just didn't happen. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but here you go.
Was a football coach that led his team to a national, not national, but to a state championship. And he is just awesome. He's for the people. He's standing up for women's rights, and he's a popular governor in the great.
He's standing up for women's rights. He's standing up for abortions. That's all this is all he's talking about. Because that's all the Democrats talking about.
State of Minnesota, which Trump won in 2016. That state was picked off by Joe Biden, and I think we will definitely get his state and the state of Pennsylvania as well. Either one of those governors would have been a great choice for Kamala Harris. I'm just sick of the black people on the internet.
He's sick of the black people on the internet.
Talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump. Y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook and on Instagram and social media and stop. Like that's just.
And believe it or not, this is what people do. You know, they attack you on the internet. They can't really debate with you because once you start asking questions like, okay, well, what are the tangibles? Okay, how are we going to benefit from what the Democrats? You ask any baseline logical question, and you're going to get this because who you're talking to is either a Democratic shield, a tether, or you're talking to an LGBTQ member who really don't care about like you as a black man. Okay, they want to see their progression and see you pushed to the side because that is exactly what's going on. Am I lying? I don't think so.
Garbage.
Yeah.
It's just garbage.
Can everybody be united on the internet?
Yeah, can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person, one hot dog. Black folks get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris?
Like we're not supposed to say anything. And then the head Negro in charge is supposed to say black people can't can't agree on anything. How does he know that? Maybe if we had some real tangibles, some real policies, you'll see black people come in unison. Because all black people want to prosper. Believe me, they don't want to. They don't want to go through hardship. They don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. They don't want to have to wait on a bill. They don't want to have to, it's like you living on an island because it's 2 weeks to next pay. And that's how a lot of black people are living. They're not talking about that. That's what they're talking about.
And stuff, and then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too, but I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you are definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage.
So this is the situation. We just supposed to vote for her because if not, we helping Donald Trump. Like, what the fuck is that? It's just like, that's why I say black people just step back out of this shit. Let it be whatever it be. If white people let them do their vote, let them do their process through, but don't fall for this shit. Save your vote for your local votes. People that you know that putting things in place that are going to help where you live. Because she has nothing on a national plan for black people, but they do have things for LGBTQ. They do have things for Asians. They do have things, and believe it or not, Asians is just about everybody. Even Russians are Asians. So I mean, Afghans are Asians, Indians are Asians. Everybody is Asian except for your black ass, and they playing the game on you every time. And I'm telling you because I've been here. You see the gray hairs? Like I know. Let's go.
Other people and sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, don't vote for it. It is what
They're not
it
even
is.
doing, y'all not even out here doing real research. And look at her record. If you do the research on whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what her record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google whatever Kamala Harris.
See how he's just talking shit. Like he's just making up shit. He ain't even looked up what he's talking about.
Done for the black community, or things that black people benefit from a lot. We need to stand with her. We need to stand with her. She's great. She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living in a time where a black woman can become president of the United States of America.
And see, this is the emotional shit. A black woman, he wants to will her to be black. This woman is not black. She went to a HBCU. That doesn't make her fucking black. That's about all it is. She has no. In fact, her father is Irish and Indian, but he was born in Jamaica. Like I don't understand this shit. Like, you understand what I'm saying? It's just like you just want to say that you're black, and they're pushing this on us. And here are your celebrities. Here are your comedians. All your comedians, if you notice, it's only it ain't been nothing but comedians. You haven't seen a real. A business person, an accountant, any type of person of professional craft speak about Kamala. It's just been comedians. And guess what? They got comedians and booty shakers and shit, and this is what they bringing to us. That shit's offensive. How dare you? I wouldn't even vote for that. And all types of little weirdos and shit she promoting ahead of you, black man.
Our time we get a black man and a black woman become president, that's unheard of. Come on, stop it.
And look at these motherfuckers right here. What is black about them? Nothing. It's nothing black about either one of them. They don't act black, they don't do black shit, and they damn sure don't support black activities. All these mothers out here losing sons, losing daughters, losing babies. And somehow they for black women. See how they play on you, bro? They play on you because they know there's more women than there is men. So they're playing on your vote for some bullshit that's gonna do nothing but lock your babies up. Give them no skills, nothing.
Be on the right side of history. Be on the right side of history.
That's so, it's just the Amber Rose and everybody got all these videos and stuff and talking about Kamala Harris talking out of both sides of her. How would you say something so disrespectful? Even if you felt that way, I wouldn't dare make a video or say nothing like that to the vice president of the United States of America that's trying to stand up and that's going to possibly pick 2 United States Supreme Court justices or whatever to try to keep the laws in place that Thurgood Marshall and all of the people that have paved the way and try to redo and get back into some of this settled law, women's rights to choose your voting rights, and Brown versus the Board of Education.
Brown versus the Board of Education. I was bused to a school. I'm trying to understand at what point in this time, in this modern time, Brown versus the Board of Education. See how they keep trying to play civil rights shit on us, right? And you get these, like I said, they're just fucking comedians. They're nobody special, Holmes. They're nobody special. They're not even fucking important. They haven't won an election. They're nobody but people that made money being a comedian. And she's gonna and just listen to him.
Just do your homework, black people.
Hold up, let me just
do your homework, black people. What the fuck is he talking about?
To tell you something right here that could be very historic.
Listen up to this shit.
And Kay pointed this out to me. If Kamala Harris is elected, she would be sworn in.
She could be sworn
on
in
MLK Day
by the first black Supreme
and
Court.
possibly by Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yes.
All right, let's look at these pics, man. Another swerve. Remember, she's married to a white man. Okay, she says she doesn't even know what a woman is. See, think about the mindset. She said she doesn't know. She can't define a woman. This is who we have. People that will say anything to become a Supreme Court justice, but there's been nothing written by her to help black people or to suggest to the other justices what they could do to assist black people. Nothing. They're just figureheads. They're just people that are there to represent a color, but do nothing for that color. Like, this is all white supremacy. And these are the faces that they provide us to look at. So we can say, no, actually it's not even for us. It's so the world can say, well, see, they got black people right there, see? They got that. The Supreme Court Justice black. You know, when I was a young man, I used to always get in these conversations and I used to talk to people and they used to say, well, your own people are in charge down there. And you know, that was kind of fucked up in a way because you still be logical, you still trying to juggle that shit around in your head. Man, he right though, in a way. I mean, yeah, it's right. And you know, you still stand on your square about racism and all these things. And then you come to the point and conclusion, comes full circle one day that these motherfuckers not for you. They just look dark and shit. But they're not for you.
Does not give you chills. Does that not send
Maria,
the whole body vibrate?
Maria, I go deep in that. You got a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated reading in a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
And that's what it's all about. He's talking about black fraternity. He's not talking about black people. This is what it's all about right here. Black fraternities. Feeling like you're a part of something. See, niggas always want to be a part of something, but they don't want to be on their own team. You see what I'm saying? They want to be a part of a winning team, but don't want to work on the team to become a winning team. And that's what these niggas do. They go to these groups. Now, I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them because many of them are fine people. But there are a lot of them that feed into this shit, and they like robots. And it's just like shit on the people that's below you, and kind of try to make it seem like being a Greek is that's the way to go. She's swearing in another motherfucker they ain't talking about shit.
Into the damn White House. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on, man. MLK holiday.
But y'all mad because y'all talking about reparations.
You hear that? But y'all mad because she not talking about reparations. So it goes to show you that they're listening to this. Even with my no view having ass, they're listening to the material that we're putting out there. You know why? Because this is the shit that they know that are facts. This is the shit that they know that is real. They have to listen to this and continue to fool you using mass media and optics to believe that, you know, it's on MLK Day, so we're going to talk about things that are going to touch you emotionally that's going to fucking do nothing for you. That's all this is.
Who is a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Come on.
Come on now.
Okay.
Oh my God, that just gave me chills.
That gave him chills. Not policies or tangibles that will go to helping black people, foundational black Americans. None of that. These are foundational black Americans right here, right? But he's not talking about anything to help the crime in the city. I mean, you know, if there was something that was the most important, you would think that it would be death, people dying, people that are getting killed, babies are getting shot, mothers are without husbands, husbands are strung out and not with their families. They're not talking about this. What makes him feel good and tingle inside is that this one Greek that's going to a black Greek, you know what I'm saying? Which, you know, hey, a black Greek is going to pledge in another black Greek. Oh, they just give me tingles. And I'm telling you, that's that LGBT shit right there. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. And if you are a straight man, they're not down with your shit. They don't even want to hear you fucking talk. You be in a room with the motherfuckers at a meeting or something. They don't want to hear you talk. You ain't got no say. And if you say it the wrong way, they're gonna take offense to it that you did something.
Game change, y'all.
Game. Talk about game.
Y'all better come to sports radio.
Game change.
Hey, you keep going. You want to keep going, dog? You want to keep going? They gonna be mad at you today, Rick.
I don't care. Stop me. Go. I don't care about who get mad. I know I'm right. I know I'm right. Y'all need to stop.
That's what I'm saying. He's leading you over a motherfucking cliff, talking about he know he right. Listen, he ain't spoke on shit. He ain't talked about nothing that made sense. And he's talking about he right. He know he right. With his LGBT ass and shit.
Do y'all realize Medgar Evers died
Medgar Evers.
for voting rights?
I think it's just offensive to me that you keep bringing up these black people that actually meant something, that were riders and shit. And they didn't foresee no shit like this. And if he knew that motherfucker like Ricky Smiley would be saying what he would be cussing his ass out. I'm telling you. Look at that man right there. I don't think so.
All these people that have risked their lives from slavery up until the civil rights movement, just so we can have an opportunity to do what we do, to do what we can do.
What do we do? What did we do?
We ain't seen nothing like this since Barack Obama was running for president in 2008. We need to stop.
The great John Lewis.
Right. John Lewis and
John Lewis, another person that did nothing. Only talked about when he got hit on the bridge. Some people beat him up, and he marched to vote. But what are we voting for? I ask you.
Ralph Abernathy. All of these people that have paved the way for us. We ought to do civil rights. We got to get behind people like Ben Crump and Kamala Harris and all these people out here that's doing, like Roland Martin and all of these people that are out here, and Joy Reid. If you want to be educated, if you really want to know the truth, all you got to do is turn to MSNBC and watch Joy Reid. And
you see what he said? You see what he doing? He running a commercial. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this, man. I can't hear no more of this. I'm gonna end this right here. So I want to say to you, and I want to wrap this up by basically, just asking you again, why would you vote for Kamala or the Democratic Party? There's nothing for us. There's nothing there. There's not. Throughout this whole video here that I have produced, all you heard was a bunch of babble. You heard a bunch of babble. You heard a bunch of nothing. And I'm being real. Just listen with your own ears. I'm being bipartisan. And I'm saying, listen, what do you hear? Nothing. And then you hear comedians that sit there, and I ain't even talk about Steve Harvey. Comedians that sit there and belittle black people for having their own free thinking mind. And see, that shows that we're moving off the plantation. And now they want to bring in these, that's what they are, replacements through immigration. And that's what they're focusing on. So this is Black Views, bringing you the black news. And guess what? I know I don't normally come on here and, I'm going to start broadcasting and doing a little more. Once again, have a good day. And if you have any suggestions, leave me some notes. Peace.